Alright guys, just a quick video, FYI. I just recently did a Texas rooms trip report showing the Texas rooms. And this week I'm going to head out to Chicago. And apparently the place to play is Rivers. So I'm going to go to Rivers, Hammond. I've been there, just recently played a circuit event there. Some other rooms too. So we're going to hang out in Chicago this week. So make sure you stay tuned. Please subscribe so that you get notified, and click the notify button to make sure you're notified. And we'll turn around and go through all the Chicago rooms, and I'll do a little update and trip report and a little video on all the different rooms in Chicago. Recently, I just took 20th place in a 300,000 guarantee, 600 buy-in. So I made a little bit there. The thing that really sucks about these tournaments is very top heavy. I didn't make much. Top place was like $70,000, and 20th place paid next to nothing. So big swing on what you can make as far as you really want to hang in there. I made a few mistakes, and I guess I can cover some of those. I did do some videos of that. I haven't had a chance to edit and upload those yet. But basically, I kind of went through and re-reviewed my pre-flop ranges. We all should know our pre-flop ranges, but sometimes you get in spots. For example, when you have 18 big blinds, it's a different shoving range and a different 3-betting range than if you have 12 big blinds. A big difference. So you really need to know, okay, for example, I had someone raise in late position, and I looked down at ace queen off, and this guy hadn't played a hand in over an hour. So either he's just been really card dead or he's pretty tight. So I kind of lean towards the latter, that he's pretty tight. And ace queen off, do I really want to shove 20 big blinds here? I know the book technically says to, but that's assuming his range is what he should be raising within the cutoff, and I think his range is a lot tighter than that. So went ahead and did some analysis in HRC. Come to find out, either is fine. You can flat there, or you can jam there. Either is okay. You don't want to fold, but it's perfectly fine, like half the time, to be flatting, versus a range that's a little tighter, like this guy's was. I think I gave him like 15% of his hands. Now, if he's raising like 30% like he should be, then of course ace queen is a jam. Turns out he had pocket eights, and he said he would have thought about folding. I don't know if he would have. If he did call, it would have been for half his stack, and he would have ended up winning. Even though a queen had come, he ended up hitting a straight. But who knows if he would have called. You got to realize there's something called fold equity as well. Another interesting spot, pocket fives in under the gun +1. I have 12 big blinds. Is that a jam? Actually, that's just a flat out fold. Not quite strong enough. You want to have 7s plus in that spot in early position, because you got to get through a lot of people. Even though it seems like it's a jam, what I did was just raise, which is the worst of all options. It's either a jam or a fold. Really, it's not a jam. You want to have about 7s plus there. Now, 5s is fine on the button, but in under the gun +1, it's just a fold, actually, with 12 bigs. What had happened was I wasn't paying attention to who was in the big blind. This guy plays very aggro, and he bluffs a lot. So now here I am playing against a guy who's got a real deep stack. He can afford to bluff on me. And he called, and the flop come like king 8 deuce or something like that. So I should have bet the flop, but I checked it back. Turn came another 8, paired the board. He bet. Of course, I'm not folding at this point. I call. The river came an ace, which could hit me. He knows I called him down light before, but it's for my tournament life with only 20 people left, and there's a lot of pay jumps, and he knows that. He jams, puts me in a pickle. I should never be in this spot, because against a guy who's really deep and against a guy who will put a lot of pressure on me, I put myself in that position. I really should jam or fold, and as it turns out, technically I should have just folded. But to call there, to raise, and then call, and then here I am putting half my stack in, starting with 12 bigs, it's just a bad spot to be in, right? I mean, honestly, I probably should have just shoved the flop if I was going to raise or jam pre, but I did the worst of all the options, which is give away half my stack. And I ended up folding the river, which in hindsight I think was probably a bad fold, but it's a tough spot, right? So put myself in that spot. So I went ahead and I reanalyzed everything. I invite everyone to do that. And there's tricky spots. 20 big blinds, 20 to 18 big blinds versus 10 big blinds. Those are different. Position's different. Under the gun's totally different than in lay position. The range of your opponent, that makes a big difference. And if I had made a little bit different decisions in those spots, I could have lasted longer and maybe made a lot more money. Who knows? So I recommend checking out HRC, Hold'emResources.net it is. Or you can go to my website, pokerpro.us.com or crushedliveplo.com, and I'll have a link to it there. And you just turn around, you go check that out, and it's $20 a month for pre-flop. It's like $60 a month to keep going up on the post-flop. And the thing that's really neat about it, now, I will let everyone know there are some bugs. I stopped subscribing to the post-flop version because there are too many bugs post-flop. They're still working out the kinks. And when I asked for help and support on it, I didn't get good at support. It just was like, well, you're doing it wrong. I'm like, no, here's the screenshot. This is what I'm doing. And I didn't get any very good support when I had issues with the bugs. So didn't feel it was worth the $60. But the pre-flop seems to work fine. So I still pay the $20 a month for the pre-flop. But if you still have questions on that stuff, I recommend it. The other thing that I think is real interesting, again, I'm not sure how good this works. I did notice there's a difference. You can actually put in up to 4 players. You can put in the ICM consideration. So you can put in the payout structure, and it's very user-friendly. I don't know how accurate the software is, but it is very user-friendly. And you can put in the payouts, and if there's big pay jumps, you can see how your ranges differ based on pay jumps. For example, sometimes it'll say 5s plus you can jam, but because there's big payouts, there's jumps coming up, maybe it's got to be 7s or 8s plus and not 5s plus, because by not jamming and holding on a little longer with different structures and different people in there, and with the payouts, you might want to tighten up a little bit due to ICM. So that's what I use, and that's what I kind of re-reviewed, and I think it was good for me to re-review that, and I recommend everyone else do that. I feel like I could have gone deeper if I had made a couple different decisions, but that's how we learn, right? That's how we learn. You just play these, and there's a reason that the guys that play these all the time end up being on the top all the time and do well all the time. It's because they spend time reviewing this stuff and know what the best shove ranges are. Tournament's a different ball game than cash game. So you got to know a lot of things in tournament and places to fold and ways to play. Totally different than if you're in a cash game. So anyway, with that all being said, I think I've rambled on long enough. Again, Chicago this week. Come check it out. I'll do a nice little trip report thing like I did in Texas. And please subscribe. I'm just getting started again. I had to restart this channel because of YouTube violations, because I was mentioning the website and stuff. And I had the website posted all over, and apparently that's a no-no. So now I'm learning not to do that. I just will mention it in passing. But please subscribe, because I need subscribers to get this thing up and going again, so that I can build on my website. There are things on the website that I have in mind. I already have a online solver, a No Limit Hold'em online solver, totally free, by the way, that you guys can play with. And I'm working on getting a PLO solver. Now, it's not a real solver. It's all like, it's kind of like GTO. Some of these solvers, everything's been you don't got to wait for it to crunch your numbers, right? It's already been pre-solved solutions, and you can pull them up. And I'm looking to do the same kind of thing with PLO. So I'm working on getting that next. So, and for now, everything's free. So jump on it while it's free, because eventually it's going to start costing. So that's it. All right, we'll talk to y'all later.